So we're glad to see that you took a break from holiday shopping to spend time with us here on Explore Tulsa.
Now, like many kids, I was one of those who had a mini bike with a lawnmower engine, trying to make that thing go as fast as I could riding around my grandparents' property.
As much fun as that sounds, it could still end up very dangerous.
You're so right, Trish, but when you're a kid, you have no idea the real danger, just the fun.
Unless you're someone like Heather Meadows. Unfortunately for her and her brother, their afternoon of fun turned into a lifetime of recovery that no one could ever imagine.
I knew that we weren't supposed to be going. I knew that. I didn't have this feeling that something bad was going to happen. More so, I hope we don't get in trouble. You know, that was the feeling. Nothing alerted me to the danger that was on that journey. Nothing. On April the 27th, 1988, my brother John was 9 and I was 7, and we got off the school bus and got our play clothes on and had our homework done, had our chore list completed, and we have 160 acres of our family land that we got to ride our motorcycle on. But there was a mindset of safety, and that was to ride on the family land. But John and I had a couple of friends that lived about 2 miles away, and we decided that we wanted to go see them. And so we did. We made it there fine. We had our time of play, and then John said it's time to go. And so we got back on the motorcycle. But what was different from when we went was that it correlated with people coming home from work. And so there was traffic on that dirt road. And we pulled out. We were behind a truck that was stirring up dust, and we didn't have on helmets and we didn't have on goggles, and we just couldn't see. And I remember the dust just stinging our eyes, and I turned my head to lay it against John's back, just trying to shield that dust. And I know that it was stinging his eyes too. Nothing was ever said, but we were just in a cloud of dust. And John swerved over and we hit a truck head on in the other lane. And John was killed on impact that day, and I was thrown into a ditch that caught on fire. And the man who was driving the truck got out and pulled me out of the fire and rolled me in a blanket. And I remember specific things, not very many things, but I remember him grabbing me underneath my armpits and pulling me back out of the fire. At that point, someone had got my mom and got her to the scene, and she loaded up on the helicopter with me, and we were life flighted into Hillcrest Medical Center. And I remember telling my mom, I just want to go home. I just want to go home, because I thought if I could get home, everything will be fine. We ended up going to Hillcrest, and there they started all of the care for the burn injury, and they did a chest x-ray where they identified that I was bleeding internally, and I had a traumatic transection to my descending aorta. And so I was taken in for open heart surgery, and then after that we were able to focus on the burn injury and lots of skin grafts. My dad had counted that I had over 100 surgeries. I think it was, how many times he had to sign some type of procedure consent. But I was admitted into the hospital on April 27th, 1988. I was discharged on July 11th of 1988. I was in a wheelchair. I didn't have any hair. They had shaved my head to take skin grafts off of my head. And they were able to do that, and I also had cadaver skin, lots of blood donations. I mean, it was an extensive injury, so it was an extensive recovery. Well, I wasn't supposed to live. They gave me a 140% chance of dying, but God was so faithful, and I am alive today. And they said I would never be able to walk because of the extensive muscle and nerve damage that I had sustained, and went through a lot of surgeries, a lot of physical therapy, but I walk today and actually stand on my feet to do my job as a nurse, as a NICU nurse. And then they didn't think I'd ever be able to have children, and I feel so blessed that I had 4 healthy children. So it's been a great story. There's been challenges along the way, but it's been a really great story.